Hey everyone, welcome back. If you have not watched my previous videos, please watch, link given below in the description. In our last video, we discussed about the Flutter packages. We have seen how we can build a Flutter packages into our project, and in this video we will see how we can work with the list view builder. List view is a most commonly used scrollable widget. So we will build this list view in our application in the same manner. You can see the sample screen over here, right? In the same manner, we will create a list view using a card. So the card is it's a kind of a material design. You can see this, right? This way we will implement the card inside our list view. So we'll create a card and that will place inside our list view builder from the same application what we have seen in our previous video. Using the same data, we will build a list view builder. In that list view, we will add a card. So we will show it in a card type. So we will see how we can build this. The first step towards creating this is, so I'm just continuing with the same project as we have started in our Flutter packages. So with that project only, we are just building the list view builder, and as well as inside list view builder we can create a card. So we'll see how we can create that. If you have not watched my previous video, please watch for the better understanding of this list view builder. Like already we had downloaded the data from the JSON and using an HTTP request. So that's we have discussed in our previous video. If you have not watched it, please watch. Pause this video here and please go back and watch that. Link given below in the description. Okay, the first step towards creating the list view builder, just I don't need this body and as well as floating button. In the place of this body and place for floating button, I'm completely removing this, and I'm completely removing it, and I'm adding a list view builder over here. So I just replace this with a list view dot builder. So the list view builder, so we actually using two kind of properties here. One is a list items and as well as a item builder. So what actually this list items is, the list items will give you total number of data that we fetch from the data, and next we will create a so we'll see item count. So here we have an item count. So how we can fetch from the employee data, we have the data employee data dot length. So this will give you a total number of items. And the next one is a item builder. So item builder having two arguments, one is a context and the other one is an index. So index is the one, it will tell you what index you are, in what index you are inside, and as well as context will tell you in which widget you are. So here now inside this list view, I'll just add a card. So I'll add one card here. So inside card, I'll create a child property. In this child property, I have a list tile, Again inside in this list tile, I have a title. So title is the one. You can see when we are building it, you can see automatically the hot reload will automatically create a scrollable list here. You can see it's a scrollable one. So this is what I list view, and we will see how we can add items to that. The first step towards creating, so anyhow for the reference, I'm just opening this. Sorry, I'll copy this for your reference. I'll open this and I'll show you. So here we actually in our previous video we fetched this data. This data you have seen, right? This data is consisting of employee ID, employee number, employee salary, employee age, and profile image. So this we have seen how we fetched in our previous videos. Now I will show you. So if you see, right, from the employee we fetched only the data. The data is a key which holding all this other employee information. This is what we fetched. So now we have all the information, the fetched data inside the employee data. So from this employee data we need to fetch the employee name. So how we can fetch? So right now I have my data was placed inside the employee data. So I'll go to the title, inside title, employee data of name, employee name, first of all I need to call the index. I have to call the index. From the index I need to call employee name. If you see this, see, it automatically fetch all the employee details here. Can you see in the same URL you can see Tiger Nixon, and the next employee name is Garrett Winters. The same way it fetched all the employee details here. So that's so easy. So this index will iterate and it will fetch the employee name. The next, it is having a subtitle. In this subtitle we will fetch the employee age. So we can fetch, so I'll write something like this age. So if you want to fetch along with, if you want to concatenate both the string and as well as the data that fetched from the JSON, we can do something like this. We can use one dollar symbol and open and close brackets. So inside this you have to provide the employee data, of index of employee age. See, if you fetch this, you can see age and as well as the employee age. You got this. You got it, right? And so this is how we fetch the employee information from this URL, and we fetch the name and as well as the age. So the next important thing is we'll add one image. If you observe this JSON, the JSON is having a key profile image, but there is no URL link was given in this profile. If you have the URL link, directly you can call that URL link and that will automatically fetch the image. But in this case, we don't have that one. So in that case, what I am doing is, I already downloaded some images. I will add those images over here. So first step towards creating that is, I'll create one assets folder here. So inside this assets folder, I'll add all the images that I downloaded. Okay, I have downloaded few images, so I'll show you. So let's go to my desktop. In the desktop, you can see these are the images that I have downloaded from the icon finder. So these are some sample images. What I'll do is I'll write some small logic, because if you see the list, so this is the big list. So we have actually 7 images, but if you see this, right, this list is really a big one. So instead of downloading, example, if the list is 100, every time we can't go and download 100 images if those images are not given on the JSON data. What a simple logic I'm doing over here. With these 6 images only, I'm just repeating those images to this list. So what I'll do for that, I'll create one small logic. Before that, let me add this images to my assets folder. So what I'll simply drag and drop to my assets folder here. You can see all the images I have added to my assets folder. The next step is we'll create one small logic. So this logic is not mandatory. If you want, you can create, otherwise it's not a big thing. It's a very small thing. What I'm doing is I'll just repeating these 7 images, whatever those images are there, all these images I'm just repeating randomly. So it means I'll place all these images on these cards randomly. Instead of based on the index, I'll just add some random images. For that, I'll write this very small logic. It's a very easiest thing. What I'll do is first I'll create one list. In this list, I will just save those images names. So let me create a list. I'll give it a name as a image data. Otherwise, I'll write it as image list. It's an empty list I created. And what inside, so after fetching this from this, I'll get the total number of employee information. So let me remove this. From this only I'll get the complete information, how many number of images, how many number of items are there inside the employee data. So I'll get those information from this. So what inside, I'll do one for loop. I'll write one for loop here. And I is equals to 0 and I value less than employee data dot length. So this is number of times it will iterate, and I'll and I plus plus. And inside what I'll do, so I'll create one random number. So I'll create one random. So next what I'll do, I'll create random number is equals to random dot next int. So what I'll do, so what this will do, so this will create a random number between 0 to 7, means from 0 to 6 it will create a random number every time. So that random number, what I'll do, I'll place inside my image list dot add and random number. So this will generate a random number, and that number that will place inside the image list. So at the time of when you are fetching, if you want to add this image to our list, what we'll do, we'll pick from this image list. We'll see how we can do it. It's a very easy thing, very simple one. You don't need to worry on this. It's a very easy one. I'll show you. So now I want to add one image. It's like some circle image on the left side, on the leading side. So how I can do it? Inside the after subtitle, go here and create a leading, means we want to place a circle image on the left side. So that's why we're just creating a property called a leading page. We use a leading property, and there we can write a circle avatar. If you write the circle avatar here, now it can automatically create one dummy circle avatar image on the left side. You can see it, right? In that now we are passing our image. So can we create, so background image. So inside this background image, I'll write one asset image, because in the assets folder we just place it that. So inside this, so here we'll see how we can write. So first thing, so we'll write assets, so profile underscore, and here we need to pass the data dynamically that we have kept inside our image list. So open and close, and inside just pass the image. This where we have kept inside the image list. Just write the image list of index, and outside just simply write a PNG here. So what this will do, so this automatically, so it will come here, it will profile underscore, it will get the index, what are the index 0 element that was placed inside, which is anything between 0 and 1. So between 0 and 7, that will add here and it will fetch. We have added the image into our assets folder, but in our PubSpec camel we have not given the specified location from where it needs to fetch. Okay, so go to your PubSpec camel, and here this assets folder, go here, and you have to specify the location where you have stored the images. If you watch my previous video, you will see how we can add the images to this folder. So right now we have images inside of assets folder. You can simply call the assets folder here, and if you save it, now you can see those images will get fetched there. If you go there, okay, now you see all the images got fetched here. You can see these images, it's randomly generated, but if you see here, it's images, these image fetched 3 times, means it's random. We can't say how the random value got created, and you can observe this created a avatar image on our left side. Yeah, this is how we fetch the data from JSON and placed inside our list view. And you can see this is a card which is holding the employee name and as well as age with an avatar image. In our next video, we will see how we can navigate to another screen to view all the employee details. Like if we tap on this card, right, we have not created any functionality for the tap, but we can do it by tapping on each card. This will navigate you to the next page. There it will give you the entire employee information. That's we will see how we can do it in our next video. Thank you.